What's up everybody, welcome back to Silly Crown Tech, and today we're going to be discussing one of the most anticipated MacBooks in a while, and that's the brand new M2 MacBook Air. Now, a couple of weeks ago at WWDC 2022, Apple unveiled that brand new MacBook Air with the M2 processor. So one of the first machines to house the M2 processor in its chassis. And what's all coming to this MacBook Air? Now, the MacBook Air is Apple's top selling MacBook. So when you have a product like this that's top selling, you want to make sure that you're doing your best to continue for it to succeed like this. And I think Apple has something with this brand new MacBook Air. Now, what people will notice off the bat is the design is different. It's all new to this machine. Now, it is taking a lot of cues from the new MacBook Pros with that tapered, flat, clean design. I love it on my MacBook Pro, and it's gonna fit a smaller, thinner profile here with the MacBook Air. So it's staying true to its name, and it's gonna come in at 0.44 inches thick. And technically, the median of this thickness is more functional or thinner than the previous generation, because you have to remember the previous generation had that wedge design. So it was thicker than 0.44 inches at one point of the machine, and also thinner than that at the other. So that was one of the benefits of the wedge. So now that that's going away and it's all flat, we have a uniform thickness to it, and it's still light, technically 0.1 pounds lighter from the previous generation, coming in at 2.7 pounds. So by far it will be the lightest MacBook, and I think fans of the MacBook Air are going to be satisfied with these dimensions, and it's going to stay true to the portability of it that everybody loves about it. Now, within that very thin and light chassis, what else new is coming to it? And we have to talk about the ports, or the one new port, MagSafe 3. Now, on my MacBook Pro, I didn't think I was gonna love MagSafe 3 as much as I did, but when you have it as your charging option, you won't wanna go back. First of all, it's very safe and convenient. Of course, the premise of MagSafe is to keep the computer safe, so when it accidentally gets yanked out, or someone trips on the wire or something like that, it doesn't just pull the computer. So this feature is coming to the MacBook Air, which will probably be even more of a disaster since it's a lighter machine, and pulling it can probably send it flying across the table or wherever you have it. Now, I think a lot of people will enjoy that feature, and you get to keep the two Thunderbolt ports free. So you can use that to maybe connect the dongle and to connect it to an external monitor, which you will still have a 1/6K monitor limit. Like on the previous generation, I know a lot of people were kind of complaining about that, but that will still remain the same here. But hey, you don't have to use it for charging, so you can have a better variety of options of how you want to plug and play. Now, speaking of monitors, what is the monitor on the MacBook Air like? So it's technically larger, coming in at 3.6 inches from the 13 inches on the previous model, and it has a liquid retina display. Now, with that liquid retina display, the screen quality is going to be better because it's also 100 nits brighter than the outgoing model as well. So we have 500 nits max brightness on this machine, and it should be a pretty good solid monitor. I like the liquid retina display on my iPad. I actually prefer it. It may sound crazy, to my MacBook Pro because it's still a very punchy display despite Apple having better screen technology at this point. Now you may be confused about the 0.6 inch increase in the screens and, you know, basically a half of inch. Why not either keep it the previous 13 inches or make it bigger, preferably a 14 inch screen? So there is kind of a reason behind this because that 0.6 inches has to account for the notch. And yes, the notch is on the brand new M2 MacBook Air, but people should be used to the notch now. We've had it a couple of months with the Pro MacBooks, and for that very same reason of having it on the Pro MacBooks, you get a better quality webcam, which a lot of people want from their MacBooks. So you get the 1080p webcam, the same on the Pros. I like this webcam. With this webcam, the MacBook Pro has become my preferred method of FaceTime and video conferencing calls. So I think a lot of people will appreciate this webcam on the MacBook Air being kind of an entry MacBook. A lot of students using it, a lot of pro amateurs using it, a lot of business people using it. So to have something with such a small profile, but giving you a good quality showing in the conferencing department, that's gonna be a big hit with a lot of people. Now on to the audio. The MacBook Air will feature a brand new 4-speaker audio system. And of course it's gonna work with the audio features that are pretty much coming with every Apple product, with Dolby Atmos, Apple Lossless, and those suite of features. So it's probably not going to be as good, obviously, as the Pro machines and the high fidelity speakers, but you should get some impressive sound out of this machine, especially for the profile. And we get the solid Magic Keyboard on the M2 MacBook Air as well, with that full row of function keys, because a lot of people hate the touch bar, even though it is on the M2 MacBook Pro 13 inch, but that's a story for a different video. But rest assured, you get that full row of function keys, so you can use those till your heart is content, and you will, I guess, have a newer typing profile since you won't have the wedge. A lot of people from the previous generation of MacBook Airs, they appreciated the typing experience that the wedge brought, and of course with the flat design you won't be getting that now. But let's see, I guess, like what that looks like from someone that's upgrading from a previous generation of MacBook Air to this one. And in the battery department, you still get 18 hours of video playback with the new MacBook Air. It has a slightly larger battery with a 52.6 watt lithium polymer battery coming in with this one. But aside from the battery, one of the things that people notice are the charger options for it. So by default on the base model, a 30-watt charger will come with it, but you can upgrade to a 35-watt dual adapter. I really don't see the need or use case for that one, but that's just me, and I'm pretty sure some consumers will find different ways and uses for it. And the adapter that I would consider that everybody using, and the only one that's capable of fast charging, is the 67-watt adapter. So if I was picking up this machine, I would definitely pay the 20 bucks or so and upgrade to that one. And I almost forgot, another new design feature to the M2 MacBook Air are the colors. Now, it will come in the traditional silver and space gray, but there are also two new colors with the release of this new MacBook Air, being Starlight and Midnight. Now, I haven't seen them in person, but Midnight looks really cool. It's kind of like a darker blue, or a navy blue, if you will. It's probably going to be the closest thing that we get to a black MacBook. So I would definitely opt in picking that one up if I were to purchase this machine. And it's good to see Apple keeping with the fun. Now, it was rumored that the colors for the new MacBooks were going to be similar to that of the iMacs, with the multicolors that they have and the white bezels. And I'm honestly glad to see that they didn't opt for that, because I think it works on the iMacs, but I probably wouldn't have been a fan of it on these new MacBook Airs. So, with everything that I just mentioned, how much is this gonna cost? And at baseline, this new M2 MacBook Air is coming in at $1,199. So that's gonna be $200 up from the previous M1 model, which Apple will continue to sell, at least for now, at that $999 for the base model. So $200 for all of these upgrades seem like a no-brainer. If your finances allows you to spend that extra $200 to upgrade from an M1 MacBook Air that you were considering, and you want to go ahead and get this one, for all that you're going to get, I think it's well worth it. So you're getting that brand new design, a better screen, better sound quality, better webcam, and most of all, even though I didn't really touch on it much, a improved M2 processor over the M1. So all of that for $200, I would say go ahead and get it if you can. So that's the new M2 MacBook Air. What do you think about it? Are you consider getting it? Have you ordered it already? So these will come out or ship sometime later this month, but you can go ahead and make the orders now. Let me know what you think about these in the comments. Like the video if you did, just that. Consider subscribing to the channel. As always, thanks for watching the video. Catch you on the next one. Be easy and peace.